Chapter 58:22. Fortunately for the former, the female emperor would be able to clean up the flood dragon when she came back, but the wild beasts in the Six Tribulations realm, even the female emperor came, did not take the slightest advantage. This is breaking one's own way. Now following Jian Wushuang, he can only recognize it. Reluctantly followed. Jian Wushuang beckoned, and said with a smile, "Brother B.A., these are all my subordinates, isn't it okay?" "Not bad." B.A. Bobbin leaked a smile to everyone and greeted enthusiastically. Jian Wushuang rubbed his hands, "Then we will set off." "No problem." B.A. Boben let his subordinates disperse, leaving only a few barren beasts at the pinnacle of the Three Tribulations realm to accompany, bringing Jian Wushuang and a group of people, flying towards the depths of the mountain range. On the way, Jian Wushuang also told a lot about the treasures and dangerous places in the mountains. At the same time, he also talked about the forces in the mountains at the bottom of the river. There are three major forces in total. One is Bishure Snake Mansion. It is the force where the Lappy Snake was previously. The Holy Lord in the mansion is a powerhouse at the pinnacle of the Five Tribulations realm. There is a competition for the duration of the double serve. But I dare not make things bigger. After all, the forces of the Six Tribulations realm really had to rise to the battle level, and no one was an opponent. In addition to the Jade Water Snake Mansion, there is also a power that was also established by the Five Tribulations realm. However, it is not the southern mountains, but the northern waters near the infinite world. Generally, if there is no contact, there is no too much introduction. Mainly talk about the power built by the king of the river. Weilong Mountain. A superpower built by special beings at the level of the Sixth Tribulation realm. Originally Jian Wushuang thought that the king of the river was a desolate beast, but he did not expect it to be a special life. That combat power is stronger. I am afraid that the divine power is about to break through 1 million. Li Sheng was behind him, with cold sweat on his back. 1 million supernatural power, to them, is a sense of suffocation. The king of the river, also known as the king of Tamu, the body is a huge nine-eyed sky toad. Jian Wushuang disdainfully said, "Isn't it just a big toad?" He has seen a lot of experts in the Six Tribulations realm. No need to be afraid. I comforted myself. He did see a lot. The Lord of the Universe of the Six Tribulations and the Lord of the Universe of the Seven Tribulations have all seen it. It was even close contact with the super-existence of the Nine Tribulations realm in half a step. Facing that kind of strong is the real suffocation. It's the so-called wise. Did not feel any pressure from the other party. It's just that when you fight with it, you feel nervous. In the clone of Barbie Di, the weakest contact with the strongest is the Seven Tribulations realm. Not only has his vision widened, but also his ability to withstand pressure is also full. Weilong Mountain. Then go to the Weilong Mountain. This Weilong Mountain, in addition to the Tamu King, there are 3 other Dharma Kings. They are all top powerhouses at the level of the Five Tribulations. There are more powerhouses at the Four Tribulations realm level, 100. But there are only 8 people who can become law protectors. B.A. Bo Ben is one of them. Ranked 8th. The peak combat power of the Four Tribulation realm. Even the human form that shrinks the deity now has 500,000 supernatural powers. If the deity played in battle, it could explode to 550,000. This combat power, even among the human race's master of the Four Tribulations realm universe, is also a top powerhouse. Jian Wushuang's current state has 550,000 supernatural powers. And it is using the identity of the descendant of the beast god. Everyone would think that if he uses the deity, he might have 600,000 supernatural powers. The reason why the desolate beasts are usually in human form not only imitates the human race. It's that they found that converging the divine body would save divine power. Maintaining the deity all the time, it consumes too much. It is better to converge the body and become the smallest human form. Can save a lot of supernatural power. The desolate beast looked very handsome. In fact, internal struggles are no less than human races. When you open your eyes, you need to fight for chance. It's almost a small battle for 3 days and a big battle for 10 days. However, Although they looked more combative, they were actually more conservative in fighting. Just like the battle just now, they didn't use the deity. Click to stop. This still surprised Jen Wushuang. The small talk along the way also made him feel good about this bully. Although they are of different ethnic groups, they have a personality that admires each other. Arrive. Ba Xiao ran for a while, and his speed slowed down. A majestic mountain appeared in front of him. In this mountain range, it can definitely be ranked in the top 3. If you stand on top, you will have a glimpse of the small mountains. Weilong Mountain. Jen Wushuang said silently, then turned to ask, Brother Ba, is there really a dragon in Weilong Mountain? When Ba Boban heard this, he smiled and said, Brother, you really guessed it. There are dragons in Weilong Mountain, but they are not true dragons. The gods of true dragons are comparable to those of beast gods. They want to become a catastrophe. The environment is too difficult. There is no real dragon in the entire Roman River. Then this Weilong Mountain? Jen Wushuang pointed at the mountain. Ba Pao Ben explained, there are no real dragons, and there are still dragons. Weilong Mountain was once occupied by a black dragon. After being defeated by the king of my family, he threw himself into the king to sit down. The king felt that the name was domineering, kept. Hey Jiao. Jen Wushuang frowned, and said inwardly, Yanjia is on a narrow road. Li Sheng's face also sank. They were chased by a flood dragon and had nowhere to hide before they turned into desolate beasts. The black dragon in Weilong Mountain, isn't it the one they encountered? If so, can only say that things are impermanent. It is estimated that the strong people who watch the game from the outside will lament their adventures. Fortunately, they have all changed their origins. Even if they encounter it, it's nothing. Ba Bo Ben took them to the foot of the mountain, and the wild beast guarding the gate saw Ba Bo Ben and said respectfully, Master Law Protector is back. Well, has there been a major event on the mountain recently? Ba Tuban asked casually. The little demon guarding the mountain gate shook his head and replied, relying on the Master Guard to open up the territory and expand the land, the mountain gate is not harmful. Reward you. Ba Bo Ben threw out some treasures casually, and threw them to the 2 little monsters guarding the gate. They were happy from ear to ear. Seeing unfamiliar faces, although I don't know him, I feel that the divine power is stronger than domineering, and I quickly salutes respectfully. Upon seeing this, Jen Wushuang turned his head and gave Li Sheng a wink. Li Sheng could only do so, and took out some treasures from the mustard seeds and threw them to the 2 little demons. Leave them alone, let's go in. Ba Bo Ben admired Jen Wushuang's actions. But Li Sheng felt that it was unnecessary. Since the reward is given, why not reward it yourself, and have to let him pay? Jen Wushuang's stingy impression was embedded in his mind. Since entering the mountains, it has been picking up the tatters. Now it's even worse. Jen Wushuang didn't care what others thought of him. He only knows why he did not do much to protect these people this time. Let them make some treasures, what is it? Following the tyrant, he climbed the Weilong Mountain all the way. Dear, click in, give a good comment, the higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of The Beautiful Wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 58-23. Front Hall. Ba Boban had passed the news to King Tamu in advance, and now King Tamu was waiting for Jen Wushuang in the hall. By the way, I haven't asked my brother's name and surname yet, so I can give back to the king later. Jen Wushuang did not hesitate, and directly replied, Under Hu Biao, from the south bank of the Luoman River. Ba Bo Ben smiled and said, Brother Hu, wait a moment, I'll go in and report. After speaking, he entered the hall. Only Jen Wushuang and his party were left outside the hall. Turning his head and looking at Li Sheng, who was pulling his face, the transmission said, You can use your own name, just say that it is my subordinate. Needless to say, the basic information of Nan has been sent to your token. Come on, take a look. Although the breath is a wild beast. But to be on the safe side, I still have to make up for the common sense of the infinite world, the words that have been exchanged between the wild beasts. Otherwise it will be suspected. After Li Sheng and others heard about it, they quickly flipped through the token. Jian Wushuang glanced at Jin Chen. She was just an emperor, but she was beautiful. Even if she became a mermaid, her face was a normal human face, unchanged from the previous one. Only his feet became fish tails. Bring this. Jian Wushuang's mask was handed to Jin Chen. After Jin Chen took it, he was surprised. What is this? Don't think about it, take it first. Jian Wushuang hurriedly urged as he felt the breath of domineering approaching. Jin Chen didn't hesitate anymore, and quickly put the mask on his face. The outline of her face did not change, but there was a black fish scale on the cheek of her left cheek. Touching his face in disbelief, Jin Chen felt a little desperate. First it became a desolate beast, and now he got a fish scale on his face. She almost broke down. Holy meeting. Or it is a purgatory. The weak are struggling. The strong are competing. She suddenly wanted to go back. Back to the country of Yu. I want to go to the daughter country even more. No wonder the Lord Yunji had persuaded her not to attend the holy meeting. There is a reason for everything. The sudden departure of the mother, the fall of the elders. The blow to her was too great. Jian Wushuang glanced, although he couldn't bear it, but there was no other way. The reason why the female emperor is the female emperor, I am afraid that the suffering she has endured is far more terrifying than it is now. At least he is protecting Jin Chen now. I hope the other party can carry it. If you don't have a firm will, you just want a rich life. It's better to go to the Yunji kingdom lord. Following the Empress Fengchen, even if it is a daughter, there is no good fruit. The female emperor will only become more and more strict with Jin Chen. The greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment. The female emperor's expectation is that after she becomes a saint, she can let Jin Chen take her place. As long as Jin Chen broke through and became the Tribulation Realm, he could quickly reach the Three Tribulations Realm, and then master the universe and inherit the throne. And it has the blessing of the Empress. It is not difficult for the Emperor to sit firmly. This is what the Empress expects of Jin Chen. If the Empress saw Jin Chen now, she might be disappointed. Maybe Jian Wushuang was also included. I feel that Jian Wushuang can also help Jin Chen. But Jian Wushuang is not a fish in the pond at all. It is impossible to stay in Vietnam for long. After this sacred meeting is over, there is a high probability that he will run away. Jin Chen wants to face everything alone. Hey! Jian Wushuang covered his sigh and turned his head to the hall. The heart of the strong must be possessed. We have to face it, the path the strong must take. There are flowers in the greenhouse, but no thorns. Please, Hu Biao. A loud noise rang out in the hall, and Ba Bo Ben also walked out, making a gesture of asking. Jian Wushuang nodded, turned his head and said to Li Sheng behind him, "You are waiting here, I will go in alone." It was him who asked, and it would not be in accordance with the rules to bring someone else. This is Baishan. Not a visit. After taking a step forward and walking into the hall, he felt a sense of oppression. It is impolite to shrink in mind and not dare to explore. I can only look around for a week, and then move forward. At a glance, there are hundreds of strong people in this hall. The weakest is the Three Tribulations realm, and the breath of the Four Tribulations realm can be felt a lot. And there are two big Five Tribulation realm powerhouses, sitting in high positions on both sides. The first one in the middle is which King of the River Tamu. Walking to the center of the hall, Jian Wushuang bowed and waved his hand, making a set of the highest gifts among the wild beasts. Boy, on the south bank of the Roman River, Wandashan Hu Biao pays respects to the king. As soon as the voice fell, a Four Tribulation realm peak powerhouse next to him asked, "Wandashan? Haven't heard of it. The hill is nameless. How dare you compare it with Weilong Mountain?" Jian Wushuang raised his head and faced the person who asked. This time his tone was firm. There is no respect for the strong. Desolate beasts are divided according to their strength. Be respectful to the strong. People of equal strength, no matter how high you are treated equally. Then you come to Luoman River. Do you worship the mountain or find friends? Jian Wushuang's right person asked again. Turning his head to see, It was a giant lava beast with gravel on his head. It was 100 feet tall and extremely tall. It was not a desolate beast, but a special being, whose divine power was even stronger than his. Come here to worship the mountains, hunt for treasures but not friend. Jian Wushuang answered one by one. Click. On the highest throne in the upper left, there was a knocking sound, and the king of 5 tribulations realm spoke. I heard that you have the Hunyuan stone, you killed the passerby, what sacred grabbed? When the words got to the point, Jian Wushuang relaxed. It was because of the Hunyuan stone that he had the opportunity to worship the mountain this time. The real purpose is naturally not to use mixed stones to exchange treasures. Instead, he took the opportunity to visit Weilong Mountain. Since then, there is a guarantee. He also thought about it. I'm afraid he will be staying here for a while in the Roman River. It's not a problem to hide, and I have to look for Wu Li bring some people. It's really inconvenient, you can only enter a big power first. It's safer. Use the mixed yuan stone to enter this Weilong Mountain on the grounds of exchanging treasures. Even if he is bullying the small, he will do the same. This loss is nothing. His strength is enough, and he has the power of a beast god. Those wild beasts can still be considered worthy of him. Otherwise, just grab it, how can there be so much nonsense? Jian Wushuang held his head high and replied loudly, it is a practitioner who is robbed, an outsider to kill. After speaking, more than 60,000 mixed stones were directly taken out. It's extremely messy, so it will make people believe that he only has this. These wild beasts also knew a lot about practitioners, and knew what the Hunyuan stone represented. Jian Wushuang's current face-to-face combat power can kill at most some practitioners at the 4 tribulations realm level. The amount of Hunyuan stones obtained is about this amount, and no matter how much it will be suspected. Many powerful wild beasts straightened their eyes when they saw the Hunyuan stone, and even the Fa kings on both sides got up and stood up. It's just that the Tamu king has not been moved. Dear, click in, give a good comment, the higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of the beautiful wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 58-24. I took everything out, and now am waiting for which Tamu king speaks. Jie, your junior is indeed, in line with the unking's appetite. King Tamu shook his fat body and stood up. When he opened his mouth, the blood basin opened wide, extremely vicious. At the corner of his mouth, there are still a few fleshy whiskers. Let's talk, what treasure do you want to change? King Tamu waved his hand, and the surrounding wild beasts all sat down. Jian Wu was overjoyed and said, Great King of Rivers, I want. He directly said the names of a large number of treasures, and the demand for performance was great. And these treasures are all in this mountain range. Although the Hunyuan stone is precious, there are only tens of thousands, which is obviously not enough for exchange. After listening to the King of the River, he laughed. You're quite greedy. You want to return so many treasures with this little Hunyuan stone. Do you have the life to take this sale? Ba Bo Ben was also a little panicked at this time. At first, he felt that Jian Wushuang was very knowledgeable about current affairs. How arrogant to talk to the king, it was like a lion's mouth. Other wild beasts also thought Jian Wushuang was crazy. Don't look at where it is. Such skyrocketing prices. Are you afraid of going back and forth? Jian Wushuang squinted his eyes and swept around, but his heart was actually very nervous. After taking a deep breath, he continued, This bit of mixed yuan stone is indeed not enough to exchange, but I do need those treasures below. He was very embarrassed. The King of the River also looked in his eyes. After turning his eyes, he seemed to see through Jian Wushuang's thoughts. How could a special being in the 6 tribulations realm be a fool? After a little sorting out the ins and outs of Jian Wushuang, he understood what he was asking for. This mountain range is almost all in the grasp of Weilong Mountain. And the treasures Jian Wushuang needs on the bright side are all in this mountain range. Since there are not enough mixed stones, exchange it. Then you can only join in. But this sentence must be said by the king of the river. When Jian Wushuang said it, his intention was too obvious. As long as the other party nods and pushes the boat along the river, everyone will be their own. The supernatural power of 550,000 is also the blood of the beast god. In this mountain range, only the desolate beasts of the Five Tribulations realm were lost. Entering Weilong Mountain is indeed qualified. It's just that they don't have the qualifications. This mixed stone is a good stepping stone. After the king of the river understood, he was disdainful in his heart. He doesn't care about these mixed stones. The special beings in the Six Tribulations realm have not constructed their own universe, so why do they need these mixed element stones, treasures that enhance their divine power? So many are. It's just where the realm is stuck. But for the younger Jian Wushuang, he was quite optimistic. Courageous and strong. Courageous and strategic. It can indeed be accepted. With a look in his eyes, he handed it to B.A. Ran, who was carrying Jian Wushuang up the mountain, to show his meaning. B.A. Bo Ben was overjoyed and stood up. Since brother who needs these treasures, and this treasure is in my Weilongshan area, I think that my brother is taking his entourage along the road, it is better to enter my Weilong Mountain. It is also a place to stay, and he can search around for what he needs. Treasure, why not? As soon as this remark came out, Jian Wushuang first leaked his joy, then his expression sank again, and said, I am weak in the next, I am afraid that I will not be able to enter the eyes of the great sages, I think. What else is good, whose strength, even if he is in my Weilong Mountain, he can still be a protector? I think you are behind me, how about being a 9 protector of Weilong Mountain? After B.A. Bobbin finished speaking, he glanced at the other barren beasts and said, if you are unconvinced, can you come out to practice with Brother Hu? In addition to the Tamu King and several Dharma Kings. The remaining 8 great guardians are all powerhouses at the pinnacle of the Four Tribulations realm, with a supernatural power of more than 500,000. And Jian Wushuang's supernatural power was 550,000. And the deity has not been leaked yet. These people are naturally a little afraid. Most of the Four Tribulations realm desolate beasts that are not even the protectors have more than 400,000 divine powers. For a time, no one really dared to stand up. Seeing no one speaks, B.A. Boron respectfully salutes the upper-pointed King Tamu, and says, My lord, I am B.A. Reuben as an introducer to Brother Hu Biao, please accept it. Jian Wushuang also came along, showing the meaning. Come here and wait for this moment. Joining Weilong Mountain has a foothold. Then, in the name of looking for treasures, he went around looking for Wu Li's whereabouts. At the same time, you can also wait for the Empress. If the Empress returns, he will be able to leave by patting his butt. Nothing to lose to him. These Hunyuan stones are even to honor the Tamu King. The atmosphere in the hall calmed down. King Tamu shook his fat body, kneaded his beard, and finally said, I announce that today, Weilong Mountain will add another guardian. The voice fell. Jian Wushuang let out a sigh of relief. When the desolate beast in the hall looked at Jian Wushuang, he also leaked kind eyes. B.A. Pao Ben even put his arms around Jian Wushuang's shoulders, and said excitedly, Brother Hu, I will be my own in the future. This time there is finally someone younger than me. It's 9. Thank you for the recommendation, Brother B.A. Jian Wushuang said politely, and then solemnly said to King Tamu, Thank you for taking in. King Tamu waved his hand, calmly said, Well, if you can join Weilong Mountain, you can be regarded as adding a general. I think you have the blood of the beast god. Enter the 5 tribulations. This evaluation is still quite high. Regardless of who Jian Wushuang faced, the other side was more optimistic about him. Regardless of whether it is the Yunji Kingdom Master, Tonghe Sword Immortal, or which Ancient Wood Continent's No. 1 Forge Master, they all have great expectations of him. Now even a special life is like this. Although they are of different races, Jian Wushuang still has warmth in his heart. During this period of time, it can be regarded as an overnight stay, and it is better not to have conflicts. His admission made Weilong Mountain lively for a short while. In the evening, there was a feast. Fortunately, there are no human races here, otherwise he would not be able to speak. After being happy, B.A. Bobbin personally found him a cave mansion, which was considered settled down. Jian Wushuang breathed a sigh of relief after sending him away. Although the layout of this cave is a bit rough, the divine power contained in it is quite good. At this moment he just relaxed. Li Sheng hurriedly walked from outside the cave and said, "My lord, someone is coming to see you." Jian Wushuang was stunned for a moment, and he had just sent away Ba Ran. He didn't have any acquaintances here. Why is someone coming to see you suddenly? After cleaning up his appearance a bit, Jian Wushuang changed and walked out. Mrs. Poison. His expression remained unchanged when he saw the incoming person, but his heart sank. At the admission banquet, he had heard people mention this poisonous lady. Dear, click in, give a good comment, the higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of The Beautiful Wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 5825. 8 Protectors, ranked 2nd. The strength is extremely strong. When it is in human form, it has a supernatural power of 550,000. And she is good at using poison with weird methods. On Wei Long Mountain, even if the Lord treats this protector, he is very polite. Like Tyrannical Run, I saw this poisonous lady as far away and hiding. It is really the name of a person, the shadow of a tree. Just hearing the name is scary, and it's normal to see me panicked. Although I have seen it at the banquet, there are so many people present at the time, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Now meeting in private, it will inevitably be a little nervous. But still bite the bullet and invited the other party into the cave. Poisonous woman, the body is a thousand-eyed viper, she is very venomous. After transforming into a human form, it is also covered with black snake scales and soft armor. Although it is not as good as Jin Chen's appearance, it has a glamorous appearance. The human heart is cold. What about the little brother here? If you are not used to it, you can tell your sister at any time. Madame Poison walked into the cave, looked around, and started to care about Jian Wushuang. However, her eyes were aimed at Jin Chen in the corner of the Dong mansion, and evil spirits leaked in her eyes. This kind of look made Jin Chen stand uneasy, so he could only lower his head and not look at each other. Jian Wushuang was thinking about the other party's intentions, and the sudden concern was indeed a little inexplicable. What is this kidding him? He didn't have any intersection with this poisonous lady, so caring, there must be something. He immediately signaled Jin Chen to get some tea, and then asked Mrs. Poison to sit down, and then said, "The king treats me well, and Brother Ba takes care of me very much, so I don't care about Madame Poison." Jin Chen swayed the fish's tail, slowly drifting over, carefully put down the tea, and just about to leave, he was grabbed by Mrs. Poison's hand. This sudden move made Jin Chen startled. He wanted to withdraw his grasped hand, only to find that he couldn't move at all. Jian was double-faced color sank, put his hand on the back of the two of them, and said, "Madam, if you have something to say, please say it." As soon as his words fell, a dark red power of the beast broke out in the palm of his hand, which directly helped Jin Chen break free. Mrs. Poison said in a pity, "Such a beautiful jade hand, it's a pity." After speaking, he raised his head and stared at Jin Chen's face and looked up unscrupulously. Jian Wushuang understood it at this time, and the other party didn't seem to be here for him. I thought it was because of his appearance that attracted the other party, but I didn't expect it to be because of Jin Chen. But Jin Chen was just an emperor. What can the other party see? Appearance. Jian Wushuang swallowed, but he didn't expect the other party to have this hobby. If it is someone else, he can still call the shots, but Jin Chen is absolutely safe. Otherwise, you will be guilty. Mrs. Poison thoroughly expressed her intentions and said directly, "Brother Hu Biao, you are a good maid, it is better to give it to my sister. I have a lot of the treasures you need, really. Let him guess right." And the other party wants to exchange treasures. An emperor maid. In this world of the weak and the strong, even the ants are not counted. With his current status, there is no reason not to agree. But he had no choice. An electric arc flashed in his eyes. Jin Chen was already trembling with fright next to him. The Madame Poison sitting on the side looked more and more attracted, and said nonchalantly, This little girl is still a virgin, really a good skin. Haha. Jian Wushuang took the teacup and drank it, and laughed in agreement. Jin Chen panicked. Not only Jin Chen, but also Li Sheng and others. Looking at Jian Wushuang now, they had forgotten who they were and had completely turned into a desolate beast. Jian Wushuang held the teacup, smiled, his face turned cold. Click. The teacup in his hand was also crushed. The breath on his body suddenly exploded, and the candle dragon wings behind him opened directly, and his divine power reached 550,000 in an instant. Mrs. Poison, do you think it's good to be bullied? I just arrived at Weilong Mountain, so I came to the close-fitting made below. Jian Wushuang became more and more angry, wishing to start immediately. Madame Po did not expect Jian Wushuang to be so angry. Isn't she just an emperor's maid? With just one move, countless people rushed forward and hugged him as a maid. Why be attached to one? Jian Wushuang's eruption immediately attracted the attention of the strong outside the cave. The Ba Bo Ben, who was not far from here, rushed in directly. After seeing Mrs. Poison, the momentum just disappeared. Then he squeezed out a smiling face and flattered, "Hey, I said why Larojias cave is so lively. It turns out that it is the second sister here." It seemed that he came in with a flattering smile, but it was natural to stand on Jian Wushuang's side. "Big head fish, you'd better not interfere with today's affairs, or you can cook fish head soup." Madame Poison yelled, and there were a lot of black fine lines on her cheeks, spreading half of her face. The snake letter from the mouth spit out, terrifying. Jian Wushuang was not accustomed to the opponent either, and also shouted angrily. The candle dragon wings first wrapped his whole body, and then suddenly vibrated. After the wings spread out again, he completely transformed into a candle dragon. A long roar shocked the world. "This is the real beast god." Slowly raising Zhulong's arm, Jian Wushuang said coldly, "Old witch, if you want to fight today, I will accompany you to the end. If you don't dare, you will get far away." Viewing the sky on the chessboard, gradually rises in the starry sky of his origin. Jiang Jiao has spread all over his body unknowingly. The power of the beast has once again increased. 3 times the power of the beast has also become 4 times. The divine power is full of 600,000. Mrs. Poison was also frightened. She didn't expect Jian Wushuang to be so powerful. If the body leaks out, the strongest divine power erupts, I am afraid it will exceed 600,000. Mrs. Poison knew her weight. Even if she took out the viper's body, she felt that she was not Jian Wushuang's opponent. As for the poison, she could see the special dark red armor on Jian Wushuang with her naked eyes. If you really want to fight, you won't have the upper hand at all. But she just left. Where did she put her face? Ba Bo Ben also saw it at this time, and hurriedly said, "Brother Hu, you calm down, everyone is your own, why bother to make it so embarrassing?" Saying that, in fact, he also has opinions on Mrs. Poison. Knowing that Jian Wushuang was brought by him, he came to find fault. "If you find it, it has to be today." Jian Wushuang came to provoke as soon as he joined the group, which was too unreasonable. Even if King Tamu is here, Mrs. Poison is always the one who is unreasonable. What's more, Jian Wushuang now has 600,000 divine powers, much stronger than Mrs. Poison. Strength is the truth. Brother Tyrant doesn't need to say more. I just looked at the old witch who came to find the fault, and I was going to my maid when he came up. Isn't it slapping Hu in the face? Jian Wushuang's breath was shocked again. His face was hideous. Dear, click in, give a good comment. The higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of The Beautiful Wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 58-26. The eye of the candle dragon is even more shining. Really want to do it, he can seriously hurt the opponent in 3 strokes. Seeing that Mrs. Poison couldn't find any advantage, she gave a cold snort and could only leave. But she couldn't swallow this breath, and just before leaving, she turned her head back to spit out the venom. The facing direction is exactly where Jin Chen is. An emperor that can bear such venom. As long as there is a trace, there is no hope of survival. Jian Wushuang was completely angry this time. Previously it was deliberately furious. This time he was really angry, the wings behind his back shook, and he came to Jin Chen in an instant, raised the arm of the candle dragon, and took the venom instantly. The eye of the candle dragon burst out with a brilliant light, completely whitewashing the venom. Old witch, if you leave this cave mansion vertically today, I, Hu Biao, will judge myself. Jian Wushuang yelled, clenched his fists and lifted his toes off the ground, and rushed out. Mrs. Poison is fine with a little trick, facing Jian Wushuang head-on, without any advantage at all. Can only hide. Jian Wushuang was in speed and hadn't encountered an opponent yet. Just as Mrs. Poison dodged to hide, he predicted the opponent's movement and kicked the opponent fiercely in the face. Let the opponent rush out of the cave in a horizontal posture. The face touched the ground, and kept marking 100 miles before stopping. Jian Wushuang walked to the entrance of the cave and had to do it. But he was stopped by domineering, and kept persuading him. Brother Hu, don't do it, this lady has a relationship with King Sangmo and can't kill him. Li Sheng and others reacted at this time, and they hurriedly stepped forward to persuade them. Now that I have just settled down, don't make trouble. Jian Wushuang really wanted to follow him and beat him again. He can't beat others, and he can't beat a snake. It happened that the other party's snake gall came to drink. After standing at the entrance of the cave and letting out a few ruthless words, it was considered to be relieved. Mrs. Poison also took the opportunity to slip away. After returning to the cave mansion, B.A. Bo Ben also followed. Brother Hu, what you hide is so deep, with such supernatural power, you can definitely rank second in the Law Protector, much stronger than that old lady. Jian Wushuang restabilized his divine power to 550,000. Hearing that this strength was only second, he was a little puzzled. Could the divine power of the whale shark protector exceed 600,000? The guardian of the whale shark ranks first in the guardian of Weilong Mountain. Rumor has it that the other party and King Tamu are powerful people who agree with the times. Although they are just protectors, they are in aloof position and rarely go out. Strength is extremely powerful. Has been able to match the 5 tribulations realm. B.A. Boron lowered his voice and explained, the normal divine power of the whale shark guardian is 630,000. Although he has not seen his body, according to many people's speculations, the full strength of the whale shark guardian may reach 700,000. 700,000. The sword has no double-sided dithering. Not only him, but also Li Sheng and others standing next to each other looked at each other. The divine power of 700,000 is already the divine power of the 5 tribulations realm powerhouse. Even if the Lord of the 4 tribulations realm cosmos is in his own universe, it is difficult for him to explode such a divine power. A wild beast, unexpectedly has such a powerful divine power, absolutely has an unspeakable secret. I also wrote down this number in my heart. Brother Hu, blame your brother for the broken words, this time you offended that lady, you have to be careful in the future. There is also a French King Sangmo behind her, who was the former dragon from Weilong Mountain, but he is not in Weilong now. Mountain, I heard that I went to the east bank to lay eggs. I should not be able to come back for a while, but you should also pay attention. Jian Wushuang nodded, and after thanking the other party for his kindness, he also noticed that there was something to be said about B.A. Dan Ben, and he didn't mean to interrupt. Originally, I was planning to visit again after some time. Who would have thought that the lady suddenly provokes Brother Hu? Then I will take this opportunity to tell you something. B.A. Bobbin made some preparations and continued. There are 3 Dharma kings in this Weilong Mountain. Except for Sang Mo, you have seen the remaining 2. There are 9 guardians. Except for the whale shark guardian, most of the other guardians follow the 3 kings. You may not know this. Only then did Jian Wushuang understand that the other party was pulling him into the hill, casually pretending to be confused. In addition to Lord Sangmo, there are also Lord Mobat and Lord Thousand Phases. I don't know if Brother Tyrant sits down with that lord. I am dissatisfied with my brother. I am now under the man of Bat King. B.A. Bo Ben continued, I am here this time, and I want to let my brother join the man of Bat King. Don't worry, the treasures you need, as long as they appear, we will work together. Help you find, the share you turn in can also drop, so that you can gather the treasures you need faster. Only then did Jian Wushuang understand the benefits of joining this small mountain head. In Weilong Mountain, if a group is dispatched to compete for treasures, most of them have to be handed in. Only a small part can be left. If you take refuge in the Man of Bat King, you can turn in a little less in the future. Everyone can hug together. Where there are strong ones, there will be fights. Even after entering Weilong Mountain, there are all kinds of small hills. If you want to mix well, you have to stand in line early. He offended Madame Poison this time, which is equivalent to saying that he had offended Lord Sangmo. There are only two options left. The strength of King Thousand Phases was actually the strongest in his opinion, and King Bat was a bit weak. It may be similar to which whale shark guardian. If you let him choose, he must choose the strong one. But he didn't know each other. It was the Bat King who threw an olive branch to him first, and there was also the referrer B.A. Scrun. It is the most suitable mountain for him. After a short pause, he directly agreed. B.A. Bobbin laughed when he heard the words, brother who is really happy. He likes Jian Wushuang's cheerful tone, without any muddle-headedness. The simpler things are, the better they won't be bothersome. Anyway, Jian Wushuang is getting more and more pleasing to the eye. Jian Wushuang smiled awkwardly, chatted with each other for a while, and B.A. Bo Ben bid farewell to leave. After everything was done, I was finally relieved. But Weilongshan has a lot of things. The desolate beast is not like the human race. Faced with powerful forces, fear. Even if the lone wild beast in the mountains encounters the wild beast of Weilong Mountain, how to shoot it or how to shoot it. There are fights almost every day. In the days that followed, he couldn't be idle anymore. Not only to find Wu Li, but also to take someone out to grab the site. After a little rectification, everyone was able to retreat for the first time for a day. Each regained some energy. Jian Wushuang calculated the current manpower. Only Li Sheng can see it. The rest are hopeless. And he had to let Li Sheng protect Jin Chen, he might not be able to wipe it away. After 3 days of rest, B.A. Bo Ben came back again. Within the sphere of influence of Mount Weilong, 2 unfamiliar special beings in the Four Tribulations realm appeared, not only vying for treasures with the strong from Mount Weilong, but also killing many strong from Mount Weilong. Dear, click in, give a good comment, the higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of The Beautiful Wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 58-27. How can this kind of thing be tolerated? The Mobat King, Dang even arranged for B.A. Ran and Jian Wushuang to set off together to intercept and kill each other. They also brought their own people. Jian Wushuang didn't worry about letting Jin Chen and the others stay in Weilong Mountain, and they brought them with them. It's just that his subordinates haven't recruited the desolate beast powerhouse yet. It seems a bit monotonous. Fortunately, there are a lot of underlings. There are more than a dozen desolate beasts at the Four Tribulations realm level. And the divine power is around 450,000. It can be regarded as an elite in the Four Tribulations realm. Set off. Jian Wushuang and B.A. Bo rushed along with hundreds of wild beast powerhouses, and directly killed the area where the accident occurred. After they left, somewhere on the peak of Weilong Mountain, a barren beast with a blue skin and grin walked out of the cave. Hu Biao. His eyes were extremely sharp. He is the first protector of Weilong Mountain, the Whale Shark King. Although it is the Four Tribulations realm, he dares to claim the king. The strength can be imagined. Able to fight against the king, without losing the wind. Especially fighting against the weakest Mephit king, it is even more able to stand up. It's just that he doesn't win over the top of the mountain, he has been practicing alone. Now he is interested in Jian Wushuang. He stood outside the cave, but another person walked out of the cave. It was the magic bat. Brother Whale Shark, Hu Biao, I think it's reliable, our plan can let him join. The Mobat King's 5 Tribulations realm powerhouse, although the combat power is equivalent to that of the Whale Shark King, is still the Five Tribulations realm anyway, but he is very polite to the Whale Shark King, and the two seem to be planning something. The Whale Shark King did not turn his head, his eyes were deep, and after a long period of thought, he said, "Wait a minute, that matter is not anxious. The practitioner who entered is very weak. Even if he discovers our secrets, it is nothing, he a human monk, can we break our plan?" Haha, I was worrying too much. The Mobat King smiled awkwardly, and didn't say anything. Besides, Jian Wushuang, who had already set off, had better luck. In a valley in a mountain range, they discovered the two strange Four Tribulation Realm special beings who had killed the strongman of Weilong Mountain. And it happened to be blocked by them. Thanks Tusk, two things that don't know how to live or die, dare to come to Weilong Mountain to make trouble, give me all of them. Ba Bo Ben waved, and several Four Tribulation Realm powerhouses took action. Don't give the other party a chance to speak at all. If you can do it, you can talk less. If you talk too much, the other party may not convince you, but as long as you have enough fists, you can beat the other party to convince you. Or let the other party die. The opponents are just two ordinary Four Tribulations realm, and they don't need him and Jian Wushuang to act in person. But Jian Wushuang felt that these two wild beasts were not simple. Brother Ba, be careful, I think something is wrong. Jian Wushuang looked around, feeling a little too quiet. The other two wild beasts were also very calm, and they didn't panic at all when they faced multiple enemies. Ba Roban also reacted at this time, although he did not feel that there was an ambush by the strong, but he could see the strangeness of this place. It's too quiet. Moreover, the two special beings in the Four Tribulations realm did not panic at all, but a triumphant expression appeared on their faces. Quickly come back. Jian was double-faced color sank, and quickly reminded loudly. It's a pity it's too late. 6 desolate beasts of the Four Tribulations realm, just when they approached the two special beings, a giant net fell in the sky. Look back at the back. I don't know when, 9 special beings from the Four Tribulations realm appeared. The special being that took the lead was silver in color and perfect in structure. It was a unique special being. Divine power is extremely terrifying. The rest of the special beings also have a divine power of about 500,000. They were calculated this time. Jian Wushuang secretly said something bad, and quickly transmitted a voice message to Li Sheng, asking him to protect himself. It's you. Ba Bo Ben turned around, ignoring the subordinates trapped by the giant net, but looking at the silver special being who took the lead. The silver special life, the eye circles are all black, and the mouth full of fangs leaks out when the mouth is opened. Fishhead, I said, I will be back, how about I did it? Ba Bobbin clenched his fists and the corners of his eyes throbbed. He and each other do know each other. And am still acquainted. The former brothers. The turn of life. Such a pity, because of the disagreement of one thing, the two took a different path. Jian Wushuang also saw that the relationship between the two was unusual, so he didn't make a move for the time being. But he could see that the other party was not good. Since I'm back, that's good. Ba Bo Ben said indifferently. The silver special life waved his hand, pointed at his subordinates and said, how about, these subordinates of mine, the strength is okay. Yes, they are all powerful. Ba Bo Ben knew what the other party meant, just to prove that he was on the right path and that he was doing well. Haha, good brother, it's been a long time since I saw you. Silver special life walked forward alone. Ba Bo Ben was unmoved, his voice suddenly changed, and he said, Master is dead, and his wife is not there anymore. You shouldn't be back. It seems that you still don't welcome me. The silver special life stopped. Jian Wushuang was a little confused. This also involves the grievances of 2 generations, which he did not expect. Ba Bo rushed towards Jian Wushuang with a wry smile, and said, brother who just laughed, this is my brother, Pang Yun. Jian Wushuang just nodded, did not speak. Since it was someone else's personal grievances, he had better not interfere. Pang Yun hooked his finger and greeted one of his subordinates. He took out a box from his subordinates, opened the lid and ordered, I have nothing else to do when I come back this time. I heard that you have a treasure land on Weilong Mountain. Planting this as dead grass is as simple as that. Junior brother will not refuse it. Dead grass? Jian Wushuang had heard of this kind of treasure for the first time. I didn't care. But B.A. Bobbin shook his head and said in a low voice, "Brother, you can't threaten me now, and I won't do anything for you." Pang Yun was stunned for a moment, and then couldn't help but laugh out loud. "You don't think you are the guardian of Wei Long Mountain, so you forget who you are?" He pointed to the bully running, smiled and sank, and then shouted in a low voice, "Don't forget, you killed the master, you betrayed the master, you won't be able to wash it all your life." Everyone was taken aback when they heard such a breaking news. Jian Wushuang didn't expect that looking at the honest-faced B.A. Scrun, he would actually have done something to deceive his master and destroy the door. People shouldn't be in appearance. The same applies to desolate beasts. But he didn't think it was that simple, and he didn't make a final conclusion. Just waiting for the development of things. This hat is not good for deceiving the teacher and destroying the door. Once it spreads out, I am afraid that Wei Long Mountain will drive out the tyrants. The world of wild beasts, although chaotic. But respecting the teacher and respecting the way is more strict than the human race. Dear, click in, give a good comment, the higher the score, the faster the update. It is said that the new full marks are found at the end of the beautiful wife. The new revision and upgrade address of the mobile station, https:// data and bookmarks are synchronized with the computer station, and fresh reading without ad. Chapter 58-28. Wandao Sword Sovereign. If you don't respect your teacher, you will be looked down upon everywhere. If the matter of tyrant running is true, don't mix up after that. Everyone in Wei Long Mountain was waiting for B.A. Dan's explanation, and Jian Wushuang also adjusted his breathing, as if listening to the story. "Don't blame me for the death of the master." B.A. Bobbin shook his head, his aura began to soar, and his body began to grow bigger. "This is to transform into the body. Master." B.A. Bobbin turned grimace, and then shouted, "Master said, Master's death has nothing to do with me." Ben Boba completely transformed into his body, and his divine power soared to 550,000. Shaking his huge head, he rushed directly to his senior brother Pang Yun. "You are the real culprit who killed the master." The rushing voice rang loudly. At this time, Pang Yun waved his hand to let his subordinates back, and his figure began to rise, transforming into a demon, and with one hand he blocked the huge fish head of tyrannical run. He clenched his fist in the other hand and slammed over it fiercely. The divine power that burst out obviously overwhelmed the tyrants. "You beast, today I will tell you that you know the master." Pang Yun seemed to have the righteousness. Two-shot wars are on the verge of breaking out. No one intervened in the fight between B.A. Bobbin and Pang Yun. But Jian Wushuang could tell that B.A. Scrap was not an opponent. But he couldn't take it rashly. Can only stare at Pang Yun's men, stalemate in place. Said it was a fight. In fact, he was beaten unilaterally by domineering. Sooner or later, B.A. Boben was killed. No matter what, Jian Wushuang couldn't watch B.A. Scrum be killed. So how can he go back for business? Is it true that Pang Yun said that the tyrants run to deceive the master and destroy the ancestors? There is no evidence, too ridiculous. Once there is a crisis, Jian Wushuang will still take action. The battle in the air was fierce. The main body of B.A. Reuben is a huge zero salmon. Rough skin and thick flesh can actually resist beating. He was beaten with a stick of incense, but his supernatural power remained undiminished. Pang Yun is a special being, the darling of all things, and his divine power is extremely tough. Neither of them had a big problem. Pang Yun, in today's battle, I will fight you alive and dead. I will never forget the things that happened before 100,000 era. B.A. Boben shook his body, and his divine power actually increased again. Seeing this, Pang Yun was not surprised, and said coldly, "Finally, I have used the master's ability to teach, then I will let my brother see if you have carried it all these years." The two broke out at the same time. Both reached around 570,000. This time Pang Yun was a little surprised, but he didn't expect the power of Tyrant Run to be equal to him. It was unacceptable for him for a while. But it is still under control, even if it is the same divine power. He is a special life, and his advantage lies in him. Boom. The two fought again. But this time, it was really dead. The divine power has risen to the apex, and every collision shakes the earth and the mountains. Jian Wushuang was also extremely surprised. Unexpectedly, the tyrant was hidden deeply. He usually looks like an old and good person, but at this time he has burst out of fighting power that can be ranked in the top 5 in the Law Protector. Perhaps those protectors have unrevealed cards. Once you use your full strength, I am afraid that each will be different. This also made Jian Wushuang awe. To these wild beasts, most cannot be careless. Boom. The two collided again, and Pang Yun was knocked out hundreds of miles by Benboba's fish head, and the divine body began to crack. Pang Yun didn't expect Benbo Ba to hurt him. This made him unacceptable. The rushing bully who had been stepped on the soles of his feet actually hurt him. I want you to die. Pang Yun's hands were sealed, and a huge palm print directly covered the valley. Obviously, the strongest secret method was taken out. At this time, Benboba turned his head and said to everyone, "You hurry up and run, how far you can escape, don't care about me. If you can't hold it, give it to me." Jian Wushuang greeted everyone back. Benboba was extremely confident and said firmly, "This time, I can definitely beat him." After speaking, he rushed to face the huge palm print. Jian Wushuang led everyone to look at the valley, looking at the palm that fell from the sky, a little worried. The power of that palm already has 600,000 supernatural powers. That is, a casual blow of 600,000 supernatural powers. If he uses 4 times the power of the beast god, he can easily break it. 4 times the power of the beast god, his divine power can also burst to 600,000. But Benboba has reached its limit, with only 570,000 supernatural powers. Want to block? Some are not possible. In case of death under this palm, it is not worth it. You are waiting here, I'll go and see. Jian Wushuang's figure flashed, and he entered the canyon directly. When Benboba found that Jian Wushuang had returned, he didn't say much. He knew that Jian Wushuang had 600,000 divine powers, and there was nothing wrong with resisting this palm. And he can also have 600,000 supernatural powers for a short time. What? Benboba shouted angrily. Ha! The divine power soared directly to 600,000. A huge pillar on a sunny day directly broke through the palm print and rushed towards Pang Yun. Impossible! Pang Yun roared unwillingly. But the figure gradually turned into powder in this beam of light. Because of the overdraft of his supernatural power, Benboba changed his shape and fell from the air. Jian Wushuang shook the blow just now, and he reacted very quickly. Stepped forward to catch Benboba. You win. But there were tears in the corner of Benboba's eyes. The master died because of me, the wife left because of me, and the brother died because of me. Seeing the other party's sadness, Jian Wushuang didn't say anything. It was those Pang Yun's subordinates who even dared to step forward at this time. Brothers, this big-headed fish has been seriously injured. It's a desperate opportunity to avenge the Holy Lord. Follow me. Jian Wushuang turned his head just a glance, saying that those special beings who wanted to take advantage of the fire were shocked in place. Roll. He doesn't want to do it now. Otherwise, none of these special beings can escape. After feeling the powerful divine power of Jian Wushuang, those special beings were frightened, their fighting spirit disintegrated in an instant, and they fled in all directions. Give them a way out. Benboba shook his head. The body stood up hard and looked at the destroyed valley, his eyelids drooping. This battle not only worked hard, but also broke the state of mind. But Jian Wushuang, this time he didn't do anything. Watched a good show. Let's go. Benboba recovered some of his supernatural powers, leading everyone back lonely. Although I won, there was no joy. Later on the road, Jian Wushuang learned about their grievances. 100,000 years ago. Because Pang Yun wanted to attack the Four Tribulations realm, the master of Benboba became his apprentice, looking for a treasure. As a result, he was attacked by a viper and poisoned. Pang Yun also missed the perfect opportunity to break through, and his strength was even worse. Not only did it fail to reach the Four Tribulations realm, but instead fell from the peak of the Three Tribulations realm to the ordinary level of the Three Tribulations realm. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed. Chapter 58-29. Wandao Sword Sovereign angrily, he left the division. The time when I was out. Benboba is in order to remove the poison of the viper for the master. You can only use your own divine power to wash away the toxins in the master's body. Everything is moving in a good direction. As a result, he failed to get rid of the poison one time, causing his master's disease to recur. Finally fell. At this time, Pang Yun came back. He also became the Four Tribulations realm, and he came back with a lot of treasures to apologize to the master. As a result, the master was gone. The two brothers shirked each other's responsibilities. He didn't want to wear this hat that killed the master. In the end, the two fought. Benboba was naturally not an opponent, and was almost killed by Pang Yun. Fortunately, the teacher came out and stopped Pang Yun. Benboba fled to the Roman River. But because of the death of the master, he couldn't let go, so he worked hard to break through the Four Tribulations realm in one fell swoop. When he went back again, he found Pang Yun to challenge, but he still lost. This time, he was completely crazy. I feel that as long as the strength is not as good as the brother, it is equal to the master who killed him. He has been pestering his wife and asked the other party to testify. As a result, he discovered the adultery between his wife and his brother. He was completely angry and threatened his wife with this incident. The teacher left at last. No one testified to him anymore, and slowly let go. Came back to the Luoman River and joined Weilong Mountain. 30,000 years ago, he met the brother again, and that was the last peaceful dialogue between the two. Pang Yun threatened him to steal treasures from Weilong Mountain. He did. The brother took the treasure and left. In order not to be threatened anymore, he began to practice forbidden arts. That is why he can soar his supernatural power instantly. What is waiting for is today. Prove to yourself and solve the demon. After listening to the whole story, Jian Wushuang didn't make an evaluation, but felt that some things might be destined. There is nothing right or wrong. It's a pity that they are their masters. So much so that when he returned to Weilong Mountain, Jian Wushuang was also thinking about the wild beasts in the world at the bottom of the river. The essence of everything. Everything. Jian Wushuang's eyes were steady. He sat cross-legged on the futon in the Dongfu and closed his eyes. Origin star sky. Everything rises. He has also entered a state of cultivation. What happened this time also caused a lot of noise on Weilong Mountain. Congratulations to Benboba, and some jealous to splash dirty water. But Benboba doesn't seem to care. Still the same as before. It's just that he is inseparable from Jian Wushuang every time. The two of them took their men out to patrol together, or behead some foreign beasts, competing for treasures. Time is constantly passing by. In a blink of an eye, 100 years passed. These days in the mountains at the bottom of the river can be considered leisurely. There is no battle that can threaten lives. Searching for Wu Li didn't stop, but there was no news. Because of this incident, he was going crazy. And there has been no news of the Empress. In 100 years, even the 5-star mission should be completed. Unless you die inside. If he waited any longer, he was about to have feelings for Weilong Mountain. But these days, behind Weilong Mountain, it is not stable. A torrent slowly converged in Weilong Mountain. The whale shark guardian began to slowly appear in every patrol and fight. And many times, together with Jian Wushuang. The two also got acquainted. From Jian Wushuang's point of view, the other party is a deeper person in the city, but getting along with each other can be regarded as kind. This day, the 4 guardians of the law have returned to foreign warfare. The Mobat king personally arranged a banquet and invited the 4 guardians to come together. Whale shark, Benbo Ba, Jian Wushuang also have an unfamiliar giant catfish guardian. Except for the giant catfish guarding method, the other 2 Jian Wushuang are very familiar. So there is no rejection. So we went to the cave of the Mobat king to relive the past and relax. Everyone pushed their cups and changed their cups and drank for a full day. They all say that the wild beasts have a wedding, and the city will not deceive me. Jian Wushuang was also very happy. Although I can't find Wu Li now, nor can I wait for the female emperor's news, this time in Weilong Mountain is definitely his happiest time since he came to Jiyu time and space. It seems that in Chishan Temple, he has never been so relaxed. Looking back at Qi Temple, there was a brutal trial first, and he and Hua Qing crawled out of the dead. Seeing Huiking's rise, he also received special care from the real spirit, and gained the pinnacle and unique knowledge that they all envied. Later, when the body was refined and the time spent with Shanjun on the Maureen Mountain, although it was very difficult, it was also happier. Everything started after he was taken away by King White, and he felt more and more pressure. Although King Bai had nothing to say to him, he had never liked the feeling that his fate was being led by others. Later, King White fell in the court of 3 kings, and his loneliness and despair made him even more shocked. Seeing the success of the old friends, but they can only stand in the distance as if you are here, and the blessings can only be in the bottom of my heart. Fortunately, I saw teacher Xian Yi again later and found my direction. It's definitely not one city, one place. Restore the identity of the inheritor, make trouble in Yuanyang Lake, and design the of Wuzhua. In the end, he still lost to the gods. Think of the people in Qi Temple often. He has also grown a lot. No matter where he is, he seems to be able to embark on the right path. The same goes for Jiyu time and space. Everything is fighting for a stronger force. The future of Qi Temple still needs him to guard. The secret of teacher Xian Yi's body is still waiting for him to reveal. It's almost always short-lived, and you can't fall into your comfort zone. Weilongshan is now his comfort zone. Especially when I saw Li Sheng teasing a snake girl with a wine glass. Jian Wushuang's face was dark. Maybe in the first few years, everyone was too impressed. After being released for a short time now, all of them have taken Weilong Mountain as their home. It's good here, but you can't forget what they are here for. After 3 rounds of wine, everyone leaned back and forth, lying on the soft animal skins, and began to brag about the results of this time. The lean and short catfish spirit hooked his head and said, "Everyone, this time you beat that centipede. If you didn't stop me, I could tear him up. Just blow it up, but I saw you being and beaten by a centipede." Ben Boba took down the stage at this time. Everyone leaned forward with laughter. The Mobat king was treated equally with them, and he didn't show off because of his strength. On the contrary, the whale shark king has always been drunk, not drinking, and has a sad expression on his face. Although Jian Wushuang had been talking freely, he was always paying attention to each other. Want to see what tricks the other party wants to play. Following what the other party said, he said, "Brother Whale Shark, today my brothers are so happy, why are you still so sad? Is it difficult?" Jian Wushuang deliberately pretended to be drunk and then said, "If there is anything, even if you say that everyone is your own, it will not be a problem if you say it. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed." Chapter 58:30. Wandao Sword Sovereign. Yeah, let's just say if there is anything. The people who are gathering today are all our own. Brother Whale Shark, if you have anything to say, I can't guarantee anything, brother, but what's going on near Weilong Mountain? Mobat King he also adjusted his body and asked. Benbo Ba and Catfish Dongzi drink. The Whale Shark King didn't answer immediately, but picked up the wine glass regardless of everyone, drank it in one gulp, wiped the corner of his mouth and shouted with great joy. After drinking, he pulled his face down, and after a sigh, he glanced at everyone. I feel that the atmosphere has been set off in place, and it can be regarded as a mouthful. Jian Wushuang listened carefully, and a color appeared in the bottom of his eyes when he heard half of it. Suddenly pulled him to reality. It turned out that the Whale Shark King carried Weilong Mountain on his back and enjoyed a blessed land for himself. 100 years ago, an unexpected guest suddenly came to this blessed land. He also set up an enchantment in his blessed land, making him unable to enter again. Although Jian Wushuang entered the group relatively late in hiding the blessed land privately, there are some things that have been heard. I didn't think there was anything wrong. But when I heard that it was taken over 100 years ago, a barrier was also set up. Is a mysterious strong man. 100 years ago. Jian Wushuang took a deep breath. This made him want to hit Wu Li. Wu Li disappeared at the bottom of the river 100 years ago. The cause and effect are here, but Wu Li's position cannot be found. He doubted whether the other party had fallen. Now that he heard about the Whale Shark King, which mysterious power he thought might be Wu Li. But after thinking about it, the Whale Shark King's supernatural power of more than 600,000 is even approaching 700,000. He couldn't break the barrier of this mysterious man. In terms of strength, it is not like Wu Li. Wu Li's strength, he knows best. The sky has reached 450,000, which is about the same as Mu Chen. To be able to block the Whale Shark King, the supernatural power is at least 600,000 to 700,000. This is a bit exaggerated. No matter how much Wu Li conceals, it can't be so powerful. It may not be easy for the other party to know the secret Wn Liu opened. No matter what, he must go and see if it is Wu Li. So he didn't wait for the Whale Shark King to finish, so he agreed. The Whale Shark King alone can't break the barrier of nowhere, and now to say it means to let them help. Break the barrier together. Of course there are benefits. You can share the blessed land. If he hadn't been interested in foodie in the past, he would just find Wu Li. But since seeing the terrifying combat power of Surprise King with his own eyes, he felt that it was necessary. Perhaps it is really a rare treasure. It might be of great use to him. What he lacks now is some original treasures, and he hastened to let his original source reach the perfection of the universe. Prepare for the next robbery. Consummation of the universe is almost the 5 tribulations realm. Once he breaks through the tribulation realm, he can survive the 5 tribulations in succession. The consummation of the universe is too powerful. Moreover, his universe contains the power of the stars, and his background is more powerful. The pressure on crossing the robbery will be very small. His own divine power is also strong enough, and the amount of calamity can be settled. The Emperor's efforts will show an advantage in the tribulation realm. The right way is very important. Jian Wushuang was very satisfied with his foundation. When he reaches the Lord of the Universe, it will be another explosion period. Now he has reached the limit level except for his origin, and he can't improve anymore. Since entering GUU time and space, he has also increased his divine power, and nothing else has changed. This will change after he becomes the master of the universe. Once he became the Lord of the Universe, he would soon be able to return to his hometown. After making an agreement with the Whale Shark King, the 5 of them will set off together. The time is set in half a month. These days, they will not go out again. Be prepared. Although he could guess that it was probably Wu Li inside, no one else knew it. I think there is a monster hidden inside. Actually not. The Whale Shark King and the Mobat King obviously know more. Catfish East and Benboba don't know what they are. It is likely to be calculated. These days I get along very well with them, and if he is capable, he will also help. Bring Li Sheng and others back to the cave. Jin Chen has completely adapted to the role of maid now. Seeing Jian Wushuang and Li Sheng coming back, they hurriedly poured tea and water and prepared some flowers and fruits. Li Sheng lay on the stone bed at will, and suddenly said soberly, "Jian Wushuang, you don't really believe what the Whale Shark King said." Jian Wushuang was very pleased when he heard the other person's words. "I always think this person is unreliable. It's better to get closer to the Mobat King by then. He promised me that after this success, he will give me that maid." After Jian Wushuang heard the latter sentence, the water he just drank spouted out. Wiping the corners of his mouth, he scolded, "Patriarch Li, do you still want to marry a little wife here? You take Weilong Mountain as your home." Even the 2 younger generations of the Li family felt that what the ancestor did was a little shameful at this time. Li Sheng aggrieved, "The female emperor has abandoned us. We have to look forward to our days. This has been more than 100 years. Even if her task is to give birth to children, she can give birth to a basket. When will she have to wait?" It's ahead. These words made Jin Chen's expression embarrassing, and she was extremely sad when she thought of her mother. In these 100 years, life is like a year. Not because of suffering but because there is something to do every day. Unlike in Vietnam, one retreat at will is a million years. Very casual. This place is Weilong Mountain. Even if Jian Wushuang covers her, there are still things to do. Otherwise it will be suspected. Everyone is like this. Do what you need to do. Don't wait, maybe in half a month, we have to leave. Li Sheng exclaimed after hearing this, "Is there any news from your majesty?" "No." Jian Wushuang shook his head. "Then where did we go?" Li Sheng asked disappointedly. "Go where we should go. Living people can even suffocate urine." Since the Empress didn't contact them, they walked forward on their own. Anyway, it is now the identity of the beast. Maybe others can reach the end faster. When they heard this, they were all silent. In 15 days of free time, he was pondering his origin. Over the past 100 years, he has obtained a lot of original treasures. Almost all of them were picked up for nothing. All the brains were thrown into the original universe. The number of black holes in the universe has also reached 9,900. Just 100 black holes. 10,000 black holes are the limit of the universe. It is also the perfection of the universe. The beginning of 1 yuan. This is also the beginning of the universe. The universe is just a shell. There must be everything in it. Let there be light, be dark. There must also be life and death. That is the complete universe. But that would have to wait for him to become the master of the universe. Now it is the key to elevate the origin of the universe to consummation first. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed. Chapter 58-31. Wandao Sword Sovereign. It's just a step away. The treasure is no longer needed. What is needed is some special opportunities. For example, which bat land mentioned by the whale shark king? Perhaps, where is his chance? It just so happened to be able to confirm whether the mysterious strong man hiding in it was Wu Li. It can be regarded as killing 2 birds with 1 stone. 15 days, just a blink of an eye. When the gathering day came, the Mobat king personally led the team, covered up with the task of inspection, and left Weilong Mountain. This time Jian Wushuang took everyone by his side so that he could run away. If you really want to find Wu Li, there is no need for him to stay in Weilong Mountain. When the time comes, you will have to follow Wu Li and plan Wanliu. If the path of the female emperor is unworkable, then take another path. He didn't believe Wu Li had no other preparations. For this holy meeting, I am afraid Wu Li also planned for a long time. It's just that the chips in hand are not enough. The vitality needed to unlock Wanliu. Wu Li shouldn't be much. Everything depends on him. After leaving Weilong Mountain, Jian Wushuang had a lot of backlogs in his heart. He was distracted for a while, but he didn't notice that he had been spotted behind him. That gaze is long and narrow, and very old. From the main peak of Weilong Mountain. King of the river. Tamu. King Tamu watched each of them. There are hundreds of people. Whale shark, it seems that you are still unwilling. King Tamu sneered in his heart. Even if you become the 5 tribulations realm, you will still be crushed by me. I want to see what you hide. The mephits and whale sharks leading the crowd didn't know yet. The plan had been revealed. As long as the blessed land is a protector, it will be privately hidden. Except Jian Wushuang. Because it was relatively late. This is an open secret, and King Tamu usually closes one eye. But he can see clearly the things that threaten him. Sangmo, haven't you been looking for the human monk who stole your dragon egg? King Tamu digs out a transmission stone, and then said, I found it for you, he is right there. Together with the location of the whale shark king's private blessed land, King Tamu said it. Sang Mo, who was far upstream, was still going crazy to find Jian Wushuang and the others. After receiving the voice of King Tamu, he set off directly to the mountains in the chasm at the bottom of the river. Except Sang Mo. At this time, there is also an ancient boat heading towards the middle of the mountains at the bottom of the river. is a monk of the human race. And also the Shugwa team that Jian Wushuang is more familiar with. This time it was really lively. All parties converge. It will be surging. Jian Wushuang and the others were the first to reach the blessed land. Outside of the blessed land, Jian Wushuang didn't feel anything special. If he could tell it, then this place wouldn't be a rare blessing. The whale shark king took out a token, opened the blessed land, and everyone jumped in. This is the periphery of the blessed land, that guy is inside. The whale shark king led the crowd and continued walking forward. After entering the blessed land, Jian Wushuang felt a special breath. That breath. Jian Wushuang frowned. But I yelled out from the bottom of my heart, life force. He couldn't believe it. There will be life force in this place. This will let those human race cultivators find out. I am afraid they will all flock to this place. No. Jian Wushuang felt a little strange. Powerful people watching the game from the outside world can see them. In other words, the Gumu school has completely controlled the entire infinite world. If you really want to have vitality, I'm afraid it would have been raided long ago. How can you get them in turn? But here is the power of life. He has the power of life, how can he not know? Then there is only one possibility left. This blessed land has been isolated. Isolated from the infinite world. Therefore, the strong of the ancient wood school cannot find it. If you speculate like this, you can explain it. Jian Wushuang would not think that Jiu Mu sect would be so generous and put the power of life here. You know, the Gumu school is the one who lacks the most vitality right now. The real King Shenmu King it's almost dead. It's just that the vitality that the other party needs, he can't get it out. After becoming the Lord of the Universe, perhaps he can restore the vitality of the 8 Tribulations realm. But now, even if he was drained, he wouldn't be able to help the 8 Tribulations realm powerhouse. There is an essential difference between the 7 Tribulations realm and the 8 Tribulations realm. There are many experts in the 7 Tribulations realm in ancient wood continent. But the strong of the 8 Tribulations realm can be counted with one hand. At the beginning, Chishan was under the 8th calamity. The strong one who can survive the 8th calamity is not a unique special strong one. When he was in Daojun, he could restore the origin and vitality of the 6 Tribulations realm powerhouse. The 7 Tribulations realm can be restored in the Emperor. But to restore the 8 Tribulations realm, the low-level masters of the universe won't work. He had that strength and foundation only when he reached the 5 Tribulations realm. A strong person in the 8 Tribulations realm can reverse the rules and put his own universe into his body. This is going against the rules. The 8 Tribulations realm was already the peak of GUU's time and space. It's not as simple as they thought. The depths of the blessed land. The closer you get to the core, the more Jian Wushuang feels that the power of ancient life is very powerful. There are actually some differences between life and life. For example, the life force he condensed is acquired. But the power of life here is innate. In other words, it is the life force of a certain unknown powerhouse. Leaked out. This reminded him of Wan Liu. This kind of vitality is contained in Wanlius branches. Is there a willow hidden in it? Then he shook his head. If this is the case, it would be too fake. A high probability is the branches left by Wanliu. If it is really Wanliu, it must be even more powerful than this. Compared with the Wanliu that couldn't break through the 8 Tribulations realm, it is also a super ruin comparable to the ancient moon ruins. Some strong people have speculated that if Wanliu could open it, Gumu continent will become the top 9 heavens and 10 places in GUU time and space in one fell swoop. Only lose black and white for 2 days. It is conceivable how important this treasure of opportunity among the willows is to the entire ancient wood continent. After bypassing his thoughts, the whale shark king in front of him also stood up. Everyone, this is it, and further forward is the enchantment, the whale shark king explained. After Jian Wushuang approached, he touched the barrier, and his whole body was shaken apart. After a few steps back, he stabilized his figure. This enchantment is really extraordinary. His current divine power is maintained at around 550,000. This can all be shaken away. Wouldn't it be 1,000,000 supernatural powers to enter? He felt that even if they went together, it would be difficult to break open. The Whale Shark King should know best. He wouldn't be stupid just telling them to bring it. How could he be unsure of it? There must be a way. The Mobat King said at this moment, "Whale Shark, don't sell it, tell me your plan." Then let me just say it straight. I have a magic weapon that can increase my divine power a lot, but it needs 800,000 divine power. I can't do this, but we can do it together. After 100,000, this treasure can be mobilized, and the divine power of 900,000 or even 1,000,000 will erupt. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed. Chapter 58-32. Wandao Sword Sovereign. After the Whale Shark King finished speaking, he was stunned when he got out of the Mobat King. 800,000 supernatural power goes in, and 900,000 comes out. This is also amazing. Jian Wushuang had never heard of it. The knowledgeable Li Sheng is also unheard of. There is such a magical treasure. Benbo Ba asked in surprise. Whale Shark King smiled and said, "I got it by chance because of good luck, but this treasure can only be used once, and it will be damaged when it is used up. I once got a weakened version, and the internal origin disappeared after using it once. No wonder, if it can be used continuously, the value of this treasure." Jian Wushuang shook his head, marveling at the existence of this treasure. It's not surprising. If this kind of treasure can be used continuously, it goes without saying that everyone can understand it. It will be a top treasure comparable to the treasure of the innate universe. Similar to the beast on Jian Wushuang. The beasts and monsters on him, no matter at that stage, are the strongest treasures that increase his strength. At that time, in Maruo time and space, the 9 beast gods, all Chishan beheaded. Refined 9 beast soldiers. His candle dragon is just one of them. Kishan's luck at the time was also good. It also grows fast enough. He surpassed everyone in one fell swoop, beheaded the 9 beast gods, and refined the beast gods. Speaking of Maruo time and space, there are more treasures there than Guu time and space. Especially in terms of quality. The treasure of the innate universe. Too many can be used by the emperor. There is also the treasure of time and space. He felt that Qi Temple was more than a treasure of time and space. Chishan Temple itself is probably the treasure of time and space. What Chishan refined at the beginning was only the internal origin, which was considered to be an improvement on the original time and space treasure. There is also the universe and sea inside Chishan Temple, and the true spirit also holds the treasure of time and space. This time, Fan Tianfeng, with the flame and a few experts from the 7 Tribulations realm, went to Chishan Temple. For the treasure of time and space. This time and space does not. The treasure of time and space, once it appears, 8 tribulations will come out to snatch. Let's talk about the Whale Shark King's side. The treasure has been taken out. The crowd stood in a circle. The men they brought were all outside the formation set by the Whale Shark King. The 2 younger generations of the Li family and Jin Chen are also outside. Only Li Sheng followed. Li Sheng's strength is not weak to protect the law. It just hasn't risen. But the status is similar to that of the law protector. So just came in. One more person, 10% more certainty. There are a total of 6 people, and the weakest in divine power is more than 500,000. Once they all explode and converge into one force, then the divine power they condensed is instilled in this treasure. As long as they make up 800,000, they can burst out 900,000 divine power. The divine power of 900,000, that would have to be made by King Tamu himself. Calculate according to the previous threshold. 300,000 is the threshold of the 3 Tribulations realm, and 400,000 is the threshold of the 4 Tribulations realm. 600,000 is the threshold of the 5 Tribulations realm. There is a big gap between the 4 Tribulations and the 5 Tribulations. The gap between the 5 Tribulations and the 6 Tribulations is even greater. The Lord of the Universe in the 6 Tribulations realm is not weaker than the scattered Tribulations in the 7 Tribulations realm. In other words, it can burst out 1,000,000 supernatural powers. At that level, it is much more difficult to reach a higher level than it is now. Even if King Tamu didn't have the original universe, he would have 900,000 divine powers. In other words, the divine power gathered by his few people can burst out an attack at the Six Tribulations realm level. Everyone, let's start. The whale shark king took the lead in raising his breath. Normally, there are 600,000 whale shark kings, and a wave of momentum directly erupts to 680,000 supernatural powers. The body turned into a whale shark. The mephit shook its wings and turned into a body, with a divine power of 700,000. Jian Wushuang and others were not hiding either. One after another broke out their peak combat power. Of course Jian Wushuang only broke out 600,000. Did not reach the limit. He always felt that the Whale Shark King and the Mobat King were not good people. Have to keep one hand. The 6 people leaped high and hovered in the air. They gathered their hands towards the treasure below, and began to infuse a lot of divine power. The 12 pillars of light converge into that treasure. Arcana's power gradually increased from the beginning. The Jibao originally had 700,000 divine powers. Now they only need to add 100,000 more. But this 100,000 divine power, at least 3 strong people with 700,000 divine power inject. Of the 6 of them, only 2 managed to reach 700,000. Afterwards, the Whale Shark King once again increased his supernatural power, reaching more than 680,000 appearances. Jian Wushuang could see that the opponent hadn't exerted all his strength yet. The peak should be around 700,000. The remaining 4 people could barely gather a strong man with 700,000 supernatural powers. The infinite divine power gathered for a quarter of an hour. But the divine power in that treasure has only increased to about 780,000. There is still a difference of 20,000. Everyone, it's a little bit closer, just work harder. The Whale Shark King took out a few supernatural fruits and tossed them to everyone. They released their divine power in this way, and the divine body had already begun to weaken. They are all waiting for the Whale Shark King to bring out the treasures for them to recover. Seeing the fruits of divine power, everyone was not polite, grabbing them and swallowing them in one bite. Jian Wushuang was shocked by the horror of this fruit, and about 500,000 divine power burst out from the swallowing mouth. Restored him to his peak state. The beam of light from his hands became bigger again. The divine power in that treasure has soared by 10,000 in an instant. But the more you get to the back, the harder it is. 780,000 to 790,000 divine power, after reaching 790,000, only increases by about 1,000 each time. After 9 consecutive times, they were stuck with 79,000 divine powers. The Whale Shark King also took out the fruit of supernatural power again. Everyone broke out again. This time, it can only increase by 100 at a time. Jian Wushuang frowned. He felt a bit exaggerated. Even in the later stage, the condensing of supernatural power will be very slow. It can't be so slow, right? This treasure is very special, but it is not so special, right? There are more treasures he has seen. Even if it is the treasure of time and space, there are 2 pieces. But right now, this treasure is not only special in urging, it is so cumbersome and difficult even in the energy stage, it is really suspicious. There must be something they don't know why. The Whale Shark King probably didn't tell them the truth. There is absolutely concealment. When the 6 people's divine power was once again consumed more than half, and when they could only maintain their own deity, the treasure was finally completed. The supernatural power of 800,000. Successful. The Whale Shark King smiled and turned his head and glanced at the Mobat King. Now their supernatural powers are very weak. If someone suddenly starts doing something at this time, I'm afraid. Jian Wushuang had just suspected. A horror aura rose behind him. It's the Whale Shark King. In just an instant, the Whale Shark King restored his supernatural power to 600,000. He took the lead to come to Jian Wushuang's back and wanted to solve Jian Wushuang. But Jian Wushuang also has a backhand. How can you be stupid and unprepared? The divine power on his body was directly restored to the peak of 600,000. Without waiting for the opponent to make a move, he suddenly turned around, put his hands together, and made a mark, directly shaking the whale shark king into flight. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed. Chapter 58-33. Wandao Sword Sovereign. However, the catfish East had no backhands, and was directly wrapped in the wings of the Mobat king and completely swallowed. The big-headed fish, Ba Bo Ben, was already frightened. He never expected that his backer would suddenly attack them. Already stunned in place. Li Sheng also woke up at this moment. After all, with the original universe, it recovers much faster than a pure beast. Li Sheng, who had overdrawn from the source of recovery, retreated directly to avoid the attack of the Mephit king. Go and solve tyrannical run, the whale shark king who was repelled reminded. They were also shocked. They didn't expect Jian Wushuang and Li Sheng to hide. It's not easy to solve it later. Originally, his plan was to fill up the magical power of the treasure and kill others. As for the barrier of the blessed land, they would not waste this treasure to open it. Instead, I want to ask King Tamu to crack it. Then use this treasure to sneak attack on King Tamu. The plan is very accurate. And this treasure, if it is really urged, it will not burst out of 900,000 divine power, but a full 1 million divine power. Enough to kill King Tamu. This is the real plan of the two. Unexpectedly, Jian Wushuang and Li Sheng both concealed. You can only solve other people first, and then talk to Jian Wushuang and the others. The supernatural power of tyrannical run has reached a weak point. Facing the Mobat king, there is no ability to fight back at all. Can only stand stupidly in place. The Mephit stretched out a finger and burst out a black light. This black light contained 600,000 divine powers, enough to kill tyrant rushing. Jian Wushuang's candle dragon wings suddenly shook, and instantly appeared next to Ba Bo Ben. He lifted his foot and kicked Ba Bo Ben away, avoiding the black light. Why are you still stunned? Run quickly. Seeing that Ba Bo Ben hadn't reacted, he quickly reminded the other party. These days, Ba Bo Ben takes good care of him, and can help as long as he can. Thank you for the great grace. You are waiting for me to find the king. Ba Bo Ben turned into his body, shook his body, and burst out at a very fast speed, trying to escape from the blessed land. But before reaching the exit, I heard a dragon roar. Then a huge black dragon rushed in. After a flick, he said that he was back from scratch. Where is the human monk? Jiaolong is the Sangmo king of Weilong Mountain. He directly displayed his ontology and hurried his way, reaching here as quickly as possible. A pair of blood-red eyes, staring at everyone. Ba Bo Ben climbed up from the ground with difficulty, unable to maintain his body, and changed back to his human form. He saw Lord Sangmo, crying for help. The Lord Sangmo, you came just right. The Mobat king and the whale shark king have joined forces to rebel. Kill them soon. Huh! Sangmo was taken aback. Then he couldn't help laughing. He had just killed a group of wild beasts of Weilong Mountain outside, and he was no different from mutiny now. At the beginning, King Tamu robbed him of his turf, and he didn't have a good face to the people of Weilong Mountain. Just hang up the position. Finding that Weilongshan is fighting inside, he is too late to laugh. How could he be able to help? Brother Sangmo, you just came here. Why don't we join forces to kill these trash fish, and then go to the Weilong Mountain? Our three brothers are king, why bother to look at the face of that toad? Whale Shark King knew today. The matter must have been exposed, so we can only stabilize the situation first. But his tactics, Huyuba rushing to them is okay. Sangmo is also an old monster who has lived for so many years. How can he believe this kind of nonsense? Whale Shark, I knew you were rebellious a long time ago. I thought you would wait until the 5 Tribulations realm before rebelling. I didn't expect the 4 Tribulations realm to dare to attack the old toad. I really admire it. Sangmo is not interested in Weilong Mountain, nor is he interested in Whale Shark King's plan. He only wanted to find the human race who stole the dragon eggs and kill them all to relieve his hatred. It was the dragon egg that he had conceived for an unknown number of years, and it was stolen. Even the old nest on the shore was flattened. If this grudge is not reported, he will stop living. I don't care about your plan, I just want to know if there are human monks hidden in this barrier. After speaking, he raised his hand to attack the barrier. After laying the dragon eggs, his divine power had a short-term weakness, but now it has returned to its peak. Has a full 720,000 divine power. A fist hit the barrier, but the barrier remained unchanged. Don't waste your effort, you can't break it. The whale shark king shook his head. He also wanted to break the barrier. Just have to rely on the supernatural power of King Tamu. The mysterious powerhouse hidden inside is not that powerful. This enchantment is too special. But Sangmo didn't have that many tubes, and he also felt a breath of life from it, and there was something hidden in it anyway. What do I do now? The Mephit king could not pay attention. Jian Wushuang is the same here. Ba Bo Ben and Li Sheng were both waiting for Jian Wushuang to speak. According to Jian Wushuang's character, in fact, this situation should have left. It's just the life force inside, he didn't seem to let it go. And the person who is hiding is most likely Wu Li. Wu Li still carried the wooden sword made from Wanliu. If you just leave, if the barrier is broken, Wu Li will not be over. No. Jian Wushuang suddenly thought of something. Jin Chen is still outside. Sang Mo said that he killed everyone outside. It's over. Li Sheng also reacted. He quickly took out the token, and there were several voice transmissions above it. Danger, danger, danger. Jian Wushuang didn't care about others, and turned around to leave. Where to go? The whale shark king wanted to stop at this time. He was also afraid that Jian Wushuang would return to Weilong Mountain to tell King Tamu what happened here. They are all 600,000 supernatural powers, and the whale shark king can stop them. Jian Wushuang's wings shook behind his back and avoided the attack. Toward the entrance and fly away. Backhand took out the token, but the top did not ask for help. A chill in his heart. Jin Chen is just an emperor, even if his strength is good, he can at best be comparable to a strong man in the second tribulation realm. Sang Mo was in the 5 tribulations realm, and Jin Chen could be wiped out by blowing the air. This place is isolated from cause and effect, and even the people of the ancient wood school can't peer into this place. He also couldn't feel the breath of Jin Chen in cause and effect. You can only go out first and use cause and effect to explore Jin Chen's breath. When he just arrived at the entrance, his figure was startled. An ancient breath spreads out. I saw the bow of an ancient boat appearing at the entrance, and then a terrifying aura erupted, which directly shattered the entrance. The entire battleship has entered this blessed land. Human monk. Lord Sangmo felt the incoming breath, his complexion changed drastically. The whale shark king and the Lord Mobot's complexion sank. In this huge breath, there are 2 5 tribulations realm universe masters. There are even more than 100 masters of the universe in the 4 tribulations realm. If you like Wandao Sword Sovereign, please collect it. Wandao Sword Sovereign has the fastest update speed. Chapter 58-34. And each of them is extremely powerful, far from being comparable to ordinary desolate beasts, and the weakest can be comparable to the guardian of Weilong Mountain. The starting point is the supernatural power of 500,000. The key is still the 2 masters of the universe in the 5 tribulations realm. All are the pinnacle 5 tribulations realm. It is not comparable to the Mephit. Sang Mo, who was still somewhat mad, saw so many human monks, his eyes began to shrink. It's no longer a matter of revenge, it's a matter of whether you can get out alive. Pa Scout also leaked despair. If it is an internal fight between the wild beasts, there is no possibility of surviving. But when encountering a human monk, there is only a deadly battle. Li Sheng was also taken aback. Then it suddenly occurred to him that he was also a human race. But now that this ghost looks like a ghost, there is no face to face it. When Jian Wushuang raised his head after being retreated, his brows stretched out. Because he felt the breath of Jin Chen, right on this ancient ship. It seems to be alive. That's enough. Returning to the side of Li Sheng and Ba Ran, he whispered, "Don't rush to do it, there is still a chance." This sentence was addressed to Ba Bo Ben. It was also to Li Sheng. This is the situation now. The Terran cultivator came, and the first to deal with it was the Mobat king and Sangmo. It has nothing to do with them. And this place is isolated. The human team can accurately find this place. I am afraid it has a special task. After the ancient ship came to a stop, the upper flag faltered. Everyone also saw the banner clearly. Stone Country. The corners of Jian Wushuang's eyes throbbed. He never expected that he would be so coincidental that he happened to meet Shigua's team. Yuanjia has a narrow road. Offending Shiju is a trivial matter, but he also offended some powerful stone people in Shi Kingdom. Maybe it's on this ship. If he shows up, not only will the other party not give face, but I am afraid they will make things difficult for him. But Jin Chen had already arrived on the ship of Shi Kingdom, and he didn't know what was going on. The hull is stationary. Hundreds of breaths on the deck rose. The two masters of the Five Tribulations realm of the Stone Kingdom, a man and a woman, stood at the forefront. And Jin Chen crawled in front of them. Shiju also knelt aside. Ancestor, Jin Chen has no choice but to transform into the body of a desolate beast, and ask the ancestor to keep his hand. Shiju knelt on the ground, pleading bitterly. The female Jejing in Shigua frowned and said coldly, "Shiju, don't forget, she is a married woman, and you have lost my face to Shigua by protecting her like this. If they have given up their human body, then they are no different from the wild beast." Another Five Tribulation realm powerhouse next to him came out to complete the battle. After all, Shiju is Shishio's grandson. Still have to give some face. Jinglian, we still focus on the task. Why bother with this kind of grievances between juniors? We should quickly find out the situation here and report it to the Jiu Mu faction. Our task is considered complete. Jing Lian snorted coldly, not talking about Marble 9, and said indifferently, "Shasan, I will give you this face, but don't forget, in the infinite world, everything must listen to me." This remark is extremely overbearing. Shasan felt a little dissatisfied. This Jinglian demon girl is just a guest from Shigua. If Shigua didn't support her, let alone come to the holy congregation to compete for the saintess candidate, I'm afraid she would have died out long ago. She was the adopted daughter of an ancestor in Shigua. Now he dared to hold down one of the children of the Shigua clan. Naturally, there is some dissatisfaction. But for the sake of big plans, I can only bear it. Waved to indicate that Shiju quickly took Jin Chen to leave, but didn't say anything. The Shigua team, the task here is very simple. It is to explore the situation here. Because after Jian Wushuang and the others came in, they isolated everything. Jiu Mu faction felt that something was wrong, and asked the Stone Country team closest to this place to come and check. When Shi Kingdom's two great Five Tribulations realm universe masters explored, they were taken aback. As for the Mobat King and Sang Mo, they didn't care about them at all. After probing, you can kill it easily. But their investigation was stunned. It's the life force. Jing Lian's expression was shocked. Shasan was overjoyed. The power of life is the icing on the cake for the Lord of the Universe. But for the scattered robbery, it is just sending charcoal in the snow. Shigua can have a lot of powerhouses of the Seven Tribulations. If it can win the power of life in this place, then this holy meeting, even if it is not selected as a saint, is not in vain. Kill these trash fish first. Shasan and Jing Lian shot together. Shitian, you take people to deal with the wild beasts of the Four Tribulations realm, and these two will be handed over to us. Jing Lian directly instructed everyone to perform their duties. Jian Wushuang's secret path was not good, so he ran back with Li Sheng with his bastard. It's over, they discovered the power of life. He originally thought that the other party would not be so sensitive, but he found out. Then definitely don't keep your hands, and all the wild beasts in this place will definitely be slaughtered. Jian Wushuang, why don't we take the initiative to speak out our identity? Li Sheng became scared. Ba Bo Ben is a little bit unable to understand Li Sheng's word. Jian Wushuang shook his head and looked at Li Sheng. There are big secrets hidden here, They won't let us go. Have you forgotten the strong men of the Sirius tribe? When they first came in, the biggest opponent was even the same. If you expose your identity now, you will only die faster. Without revealing their identity, at least they are on the side of the wild beasts, and they can use the power of the Mobat King and the Whale Shark King. When exposed, both sides will hunt them down. Anyway, those powerhouses in the Five Tribulations realm did not chase them down. It's just that some masters of the universe from the Four Tribulations realm have come. These people can still be blocked. Li Sheng also understood, and now he can only rely on himself. Brother Ba, have you asked the king for help? Jian Wushuang thought of the king of the river again. Special beings in the Six Tribulations realm. If you can pull that person into the water, then this battle will be lively. These little fish and shrimps can also fish in troubled waters. Ba Bo swallowed his saliva and said in a daze, "The letter has been passed, but there is no answer. If you pass the sound again, you will say that there is vitality in this place, as well as the Five Tribulations realm monks of the human race. Let him come quickly, otherwise the treasures will be robbed by the human race monk. As long as there are enough benefits, which king of the river can't sit still? With his strength, it is difficult to fall in the infinite world. Special beings in the Six Tribulations realm. It is no different from the Lord of the Universe in the Six Tribulations realm. It just doesn't have its own dojo. The same is true for the masters of the Five Tribulations realm universe, who can bring their own universe here. This is the advantage. Terran cannot threaten Tamu. He came, and even if he couldn't take this place in one go, he would be able to repel the Shiguo's team. As for Jin Chen, there is a high probability that he will get along with Shiju. Following Shiguo's team is better than following him. Following him, there is still a high probability of wandering. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.